What is the 60-20-20 rule, and how does it work? Budgeting is a helpful tool if you want to get a grip on your finances and save money. In fact, budgets are always good to use, but when you start learning more about it, you'll find that there are many different methods, making it difficult to choose one. It's best to start with a few simple practices that will allow you to begin saving and spending appropriately right away. The 60-20-20 budget rule is the perfect budget to start with, and you can modify it in a few ways to better fit your lifestyle. This system isn't difficult to understand. That makes it ideal for budget beginners or those who need to get back on track after overspending. Simplicity is the most attractive thing about this system. 60% for expenses. When you receive your salary, take 60% of that income and use it to pay your monthly expenses. Anything essential, such as housing costs, groceries, phone and internet payments, and other bills fall into this category. Basically, anything you pay for on a regular basis is considered an expense. As for paying off debt, there's some debate about whether or not you should include it in this section. That is, it depends on your situation. If your debt is small and you pay it off monthly, I'd include it in your 60%. However, if you've focused on paying off debt intensively, see the next section for advice. 20% for savings. After you've paid off your monthly expenses, take the next 20% of your paycheck and put it into savings. Savings can mean extra money for emergencies, retirement accounts, or other investments. And let's say you're intensively paying off your debt right now. In that case, you can use some of that money for that in addition to the minimum payments from the previous section. This way you can get rid of your debts quickly. If you save 20%, you'll have the opportunity to save a significant amount without feeling like you never have money for anything else. An IRA. You can add money to your retirement plan each month in an IRA to make sure you max out each year. If you work for an employer that offers a 401k, you can contribute a portion of your savings to this fund each month. Other investments, in addition to your retirement accounts, you can also put money into other investments, such as mutual funds or stocks. An emergency fund. Build your emergency fund with your savings. Your emergency fund usually covers 3 to 12 months of expenses, depending on your situation. I recommend you focus entirely on this if you don't already have one set up. 20% to spend. After you've paid your bills and saved 20%, you're left with 20% of your income. And that's the fun part. You can spend it on anything you want. Since you've responsibly paid your expenses and saved for the future, you can do whatever you want with the money you've left, whether that's money for a coffee, a new handbag, a weekend getaway, or anything else. You can spend it without feeling guilty because you've already taken care of everything. How is this different from the 60-30-10 budget rule? This is a slight variation of the 60-20-20 budget rule. Your spending category remains the same, but there are some differences in the other categories. 30% for savings instead of 20%. This system is a little stricter than the other because you'll be saving a little more. Instead of saving only 20%, you'll save 30% of your income every month. This system is best for people who are trying to save a lot of money, who have a lot of debt to pay off, or who have a higher income that makes it unnecessary to spend such a high percentage. What are the main differences? Stricter budget for discretionary spending. This is the main point. You'll save more and spend less on non-essentials. You'll still have some money to spend on anything you want, just not as much. More savings. With this approach, you'll save 10% more money each month. That adds up to a lot more at the end of the year, hundreds or thousands of dollars more. Balance your financial life with the 60-20-20 budgeting rule. If you want to try this simple and effective budgeting system, it's not hard to get started. But you should keep these things in mind so that the budget effectively fits into your lifestyle and you can stick to it over time without spending extra hours on it. Staying on the right track. For the first few months, the 60-20-20 budget rule can feel like a struggle. That's why it's important to use the methods that help you stay on track. Find the things that help you stay motivated. Here are some ideas. Visual reminders. Some people are motivated by visual reminders. You can use a vision board, calendar, or other method to help you effectively stick to your budget. Reward system. If you like the idea of being rewarded for sticking to your budget, develop a strategy. If you like, you can incorporate this reward into your discretionary spending. For example, if you stick to your budget for 1 month, you can treat yourself to dinner at a restaurant. After 2 months, you might treat yourself to something bigger, and so on. Coming up with new rewards will keep you motivated over time. Check daily. Review your budget every day, a few minutes at most. Taking just a quick look at your budget each day will help you spot small mistakes and remind you of what else you can spend and save. Reevaluate after a few months. After you've stuck to the 60-20-20 budget rule for a few months, it's time to reevaluate whether it's working. Ask yourself questions. Was it difficult to stick to? Was it easy? Is there anything that needs to be changed to make it more effective? At this point, you can adjust your budget categories as needed, taking into account any new information you've learned. Find a spending method that works. In this method, you'll spend 20% of your income each month, but this can be a little confusing. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're paying your bills from the same account you're spending from, you might find yourself constantly checking what's been paid and if you're over budget in the spending category. There are much better ways. Start by withdrawing your allowance in cash at the beginning of the month. Many people like this approach because it's simple. Another method is to put your allowance in a separate account. Spend only from that account. This way, you never confuse your spending money with your discretionary spending. Balance your financial life. The first goal of budgeting is to organize and manage your money effectively. The second goal is to make your life easier. You can consider your budgeting system effective if it runs smoothly and you don't spend a lot of time each month trying to keep it running. You set it up so that it eventually runs almost without help. This way you pay bills, save for retirement, and spend money without having to spend a lot of brain power or time on the system. How do you get started with the 60-20-20 budget rule? This system is easy to set up, and I'll show you how to get it started with this budgeting process right away. This way, you'll start getting good financial results as soon as possible. Use a calculator for the 60-20-20 budget rule. It can be hard to keep track of your money if you're new to this or just don't like numbers. You can simplify a lot of things with a budget calculator. It helps you keep track of your finances by doing the math for you. Set routines for paying bills, saving, and spending. Routines may seem like a lot at first, but they actually make life a lot easier. Having a routine will help you in managing your money. Try to create habits for paying expenses, bills, and spending. This means sitting down at the same time each month to create your budget, taking a few minutes to post your income to the correct accounts, and then sticking to it consistently. Try this routine and start on the first of the month or the day you get paid. If you get paid bi-weekly, you can budget twice a month, or you can do it once a month and post all your income at once. You can try this approach if you want to get a start without being too creative, or you can build your own routine. Creating a budget is about figuring out what works for you, not following a set of rules. All that matters is that you create a budget and that it makes sense for you. And if you feel that you want to save even more, or this budget isn't strict enough, you can try the 60-30-10 variant. It'll help you save even more and pay off your debt incredibly fast without feeling like you're spending any money without giving up anything. Plus, you can enjoy your life by continuing to spend a percentage of your paycheck without guilt. Keep an eye on your budget, don't give up, and tell us about it below in the comment section. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this.